Today we're starting one of my very favorite things, which is graphing on what we call a coordinate plane. Okay, if you have ever played Battleship or read like a legit map, like the old school fold out map where you're like, oh, that is in C7, okay, then this should be right up your alley. A coordinate plane is a grid that's formed by the intersection of two number lines. Okay, so let's talk about those two number lines. The first number line that we have is what's called the y-axis. Okay, this is the y-axis. It's this vertical number line. Okay, so just like a thermometer, it's a number line that's going from 0, and then it goes up, 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 and it's positive, and then below 0 is negative. And then we have the x-axis. It's this horizontal number line, right? This is the number line that has been on the wall of your classroom since you were 4. Okay, and we're starting with 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, positive to the right, negative to the left. Maybe not negative on your classroom wall since you were 4, but you get the idea. And what's happening when we're doing this is that it essentially has divided this grid, this coordinate plane, into 4 quadrants, right? Quad means 4 quadrants. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and that is quadrant 4. Okay, so you start up here and it almost makes like a C shape. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are the 4 quadrants. And there's a special spot right here. Okay, and this is the origin. You can't read that. It's O-R-I, here, I'll write it right here. O-R-I-G-I-N. Okay, that is where the two number lines are intersecting. That is where the two lines are intersecting. Okay, and so the next blank says, a blank gives the coordinates of the location of a point. Okay, and that is an ordered pair. An ordered pair is going to give us the coordinates of the location of a point. And then it says, in the graph above, point A has the coordinates 2, -4. Okay, and that is because on the x-axis, okay, we went over here to 2, and then on the y-axis, we went down to -4. Okay, it always, always, always is going to go x, y. So where am I going over here on the x-axis? And then where am I going over here on the y? Okay, so let's look down at the bottom. It says, what are the coordinates of? And then point B. So we always want to look at the x-axis first. So on this x number line, I'm going, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's at -5, +4, right? So if we were to kind of go, whoop, 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 right? It's where the -5 line and the +4 line meet. That's where point B is. So the coordinates are -5, +4. Okay, and I know it doesn't ask you to, but we're going to be overachievers, and we're going to talk about, well, what quadrant is that point in? Look up top. Quadrant 2. Yes, if you said quadrant 2, you are correct. Okay, so let's look at point C. On my x number line, where is it located? 5. And on the y, where is it located? 0. It didn't go up or down, right? If we were just to look at its location on this vertical number line, it's sitting at 0. So if I asked you what quadrant that is in, you might be like, what? It's not in a quadrant. That's right. It is sitting on the x-axis. It is sitting on the x-axis. Okay, it's not in any of these sections. It's sitting on that axis. Okay, and then let's look at D. Shout it out. What are the coordinates? -2, -4. And what quadrant is that guy in? quadrant 3. Okay, the last/next thing that we're going to do is you're going to graph these points. So why don't you pause your video, graph your points, and then turn it back on and we'll see if you got them right. Okay, point E is at -2, +2. That's point E. Point F is at 0, -1, right there. G is at 4, -1, 2, 3. H is at 2, -5. J is at -6, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And K is at -3, 0.